Hi friends, hi family. So today's vlog is just pretty much how my first week in Gothenburg has been. So there are a few things that I plan to discuss in this video. One is pretty much just how traveling from the United States to Gothenburg was and how the trip went and any mishaps that have happened. Also, I will be talking about my classes or my class because in Sweden you only take, or in Gothenburg, you only take one class at a time. I will also be talking about transportation in Sweden as well as finding that balance between getting involved, making friends, and also wanting some alone time where you just have like solitude and you can just adjust and handle some of the things and tasks that you need to. Also, I will lastly be talking just about grocery shopping and if you are living on your own for the first time, just how to manage just cooking food for yourself and making sure that you maintain a healthy diet. So, to get started, I left from San Francisco and I left in the afternoon time. And it turns out that my carry-on was too big, so I had to check in my carry-on, but it was checked in as a free check-in. So the person was very nice and just waived the fee for me, which was like, I am very thankful for that because it would have been like an extra $100 or so, which I just did not want to pay. Thankfully, I didn't even have to ask him to waive that fee for me. He just did, which was very kind of him. So I left from San Francisco, and honestly, saying goodbye to my family was so hard. I'm not even going to downplay it and say, oh, it won't be too hard, you'll be just fine. No, I was bawling my eyes out. I was in tears. I wanted to hug everybody at least 5 times before I left. And, my boyfriend was there too, and I probably won't see him until at least until August, possibly until December. So we will be doing distance again for quite a while. So saying goodbye to everybody was just so hard to do. And there was a moment where I realized I am finally and officially on my own. I am embarking on this adventure without anybody else. I mean, for me, I'm a Christian, so I mean, okay, God, always going to be with me. Thank you. But, just where I was like, okay, my family's going to be behind the gate and I have to go through security. Thankfully, though, there are people along the way who made my transition from leaving my family that much easier. I met this one guy who was going to Oregon and he said his girlfriend stayed abroad and how she had a fantastic time. Then I met this one guy who's from India and we had a great discussion because I went to India like 2 years ago. Crazy, right? 2 years ago. But so I went to India and we were talking about that and just how he was gone from his family for a while, living in the United States as an international student. So just having those stories with different people really helped to make me get more comfortable with the idea that I'm actually leaving. I'm actually going to be living in a different country for at least 6 to 7 months because I'll be living in Norway after I study abroad in Sweden. So just meeting with those different people really helped with just knowing that I can do it. People do this all the time, and I had to tell myself what makes me less capable, what makes me any different, and just keeping that mindset of I can do this, and I am confident, I am intelligent, and I have a good head on my shoulders, and if anything happens, it's happened to other people before, and not to like take it too hard on yourself. Just keeping that in mind helped me get through the rough transition from the United States to Sweden. So I found my terminal and everything just fine, and I boarded my plane. So when I originally got onto my plane, I was sitting next to a crying kid, and I had the aisle seat, which honestly, the kid was really cute, so I wasn't even going to complain. However, like the flight attendant came up to me and he asked if I wanted to change seats. So he asked if I wanted to change seats, and I asked if there was a window seat that, just might have happened to be still open. And he was like, yeah, there is. And so I did not only end up getting a window seat, but I ended up getting a window seat, a middle seat, and an aisle seat. The entire row was empty. So I was able to just sprawl out as much as I wanted to, just have my stuff there, and I was just so comfortable. The only problem though is like right when the plane started to take off, water started leaking down on me, and I was just so comfortable. I didn't even move. I know that sounds crazy, but I didn't even move. I was like, you know what, the water stopped dripping, and I looked up at it for a while, and it was kind of dripping, so I like kind of like leaned away from it, and then it stopped. So yeah, the flight wasn't even that bad. I slept through dinner though, so I had to ask for my dinner. So if you are going to be on a long international flight, try to stay up for dinner, because the flight attendant, she was nice enough to give me the dinner, but I don't know if that will always be the case. So on the flight, my flight was 9 hours from San Francisco to Amsterdam, and the Amsterdam International Airport was so gorgeous. I wish I had photos, but I don't anymore. And so, like, it just had beautiful Christmas lights hanging, huge balls hanging with lights, and it was just so fantastic. So I immediately went to my terminal and sat at my gate, kind of looked around a little bit, but I didn't have that long of a layover, so I didn't want to waste too much time. So I ended up just sitting there looking around, realizing, wow, I'm actually in Amsterdam. And it was just so beautiful. Like, as the plane was coming into the city, I could see just the Atlantic Ocean or just rushing to the shore. And there was a beautiful rainbow that was like right above on the clouds. And like the plane fell through the clouds so beautifully. And there were tons of windmills just scattered throughout the ocean, and it was gorgeous. There were small country roads leading up to beautiful farmhouses with a light, like, drizzle or a sprinkle of snow on the ground. It was gorgeous. It was like right from a storybook. And so that was Amsterdam, and then I left from Amsterdam, and I caught my flight to Gothenburg, where I sat next to somebody who was from Gothenburg, and we talked for a while. He told me about some of the thrift shops that they had in the city and how he got his really good coat for $4. So eventually, I decided to check out some of those thrift shops and actually found this from one of them. And I think it was about like $4 too. And I'm not gonna buy like a lot of clothes out here because I already brought clothes, but I wanted to find something. So this is what I found the other day. So, with that said, classes are pretty good. I love my class. I love how the teacher is he's very like application based. So, it's a psychology class. It's called Comparative Group Psychology, and the class is like totally sociology. Like, I love the class. I'm a sociology major, and so it provides like an extra window of insight into everything I'm studying, and I'm minoring in peace and conflict resolution. So this class explains like why people join groups, and it compares inclusion versus collectivism, how people might feel if they're ostracized, how people react if they feel ostracized. So I just think it's amazing, especially since right now I'm in a time where I don't know a lot of people. So it's pretty much studying abroad is like the reality of the class I'm taking, because you're trying to meet new people, you're trying to get involved in groups, you're trying to be accepted. So it's just amazing studying what I'm actually trying to do. So that's like amazing. I know I keep saying that. I need to find a different word. So if you want to include any in the comment section, feel free to do so. But with that said, so I uploaded some videos of my housing already, but pretty much I live on the top floor and in like student housing, and it's a beautiful view. I have the most gorgeous view. I will have to like add some photos to this video, or just if you follow me on my Instagram, which is at love Caitlin, Katelynn Rose Rose, then you will see all the photos that I'm posting and everything. But it's a gorgeous view, and it's an amazing city. I am just totally in love, and I know I'm going to be so sad when I have to leave Gothenburg. But so pretty much I live on the third floor, and the only problem with my housing area is that they have no elevators and no, like tons of stairs, and I feel like I live on the top of a mountain because I have 152 steps that I have to climb from the main road, not even including like the ramps and everything, but just steps, like stair steps, and it's 157. And so when you have groceries or like luggage, it's a pain. So thankfully I had friends to help, or my friend to help me carry my luggage up all the stairs, and they both were very helpful with that, and like I am so thankful for them. So with that said, pretty much going into transportation, Gothenburg has amazing transportation services. They tell you when the train will be arriving, how long it'll take for the train to arrive, and also they tell you if the train's delayed and how long you can expect for the train to be delayed. So that is amazing. So lastly, I just wanted to talk about like finding that balance between having friends and wanting to spend time with friends, and also with realizing that you still have to get things done, that you're studying abroad and studying comes first, and it's like wanting to make sure that you do enough to where you can spend time with people and make friends, because pretty much if you're on your own, I feel like friends are like necessary for survival. I mean, say if you get very sick and you need someone to pick up medicine, or if you're lost, or if something's happening to you and you need somebody to go with you, to anything. And if you don't have friends in this, or if you don't have family in the city or in the location, it's pretty much you're either on your own or you make friends. And for me, I am such a loner, and I just love solitude, and I need to force myself to break out of that. And I love spending time with friends too, but I feel like I can spend most of my time, like 70% of my time alone. Nah, maybe 60% of my time alone and 40% with friends, and be totally happy. But I'm just still working on breaking myself out of that, just to be honest, because I mean, after a while, being alone can be quite tiresome and lonely. So it's good to just have a balance, get what you need to get done, make friends, but also remember that you're studying abroad first, and it's not abroad studying, it's studying abroad. So just make sure you stay up on your classes. Like, I still have chapters I have to read, so after this video, I am done for the day, and I am just gonna have my head in the books for sure, because I just really need to. So, anyways, lastly, I just wanted to talk about living on your own. If you're going to study abroad and you haven't lived on your own before, you can do it, because I was very nervous about that, because I've lived at home my entire life. I've only been away from home for at most 2 weeks, because when I was in India, I lived in India for 2 weeks. And like, I was worried about being able to cook for myself, being able to get all my groceries and stuff, and honestly, it's not that bad. It's like I surprised myself on like how good of a meal I cooked, because like I didn't even like have a recipe set. I was just like, "Oh, you know what? I'm hungry. I'm going to buy this. I'm going to buy that. That looks like it'll go together. Yeah, let me buy some pasta to put on the side and have the food go on top." And it turned out to be really good. I had like sun-dried tomatoes, cabbage, pasta, Uncle Sam's sauce with pineapple. I don't know if it's called Uncle Sam. It might be called Uncle somebody else. Uncle Bob? I don't know. It's one of those uncle things where they have what's it called? The sauce in it, and it's like you can just flavor up your whole meal that way. So it was just very good, and I cooked for the entire week so that way I can save money. And what I'm planning on doing is every week just having a budgeting sheet, just keeping all of my receipts and saying, okay, how much have I spent this week, and just trying to get an estimate of about how much I am spending each month. Because if you're living in Gothenburg, they said the amount that you want to budget for is about $885 a month. Not really including the first month, because you might have a lot of things you have to buy, but pretty much you want to just budget that just for living expenses. And thankfully, I was able to find my rent for $395, and that's US dollars. So I just feel very blessed about that, because that's very inexpensive, especially compared to California where I live. where rent is easily a lot more than that. Like the average, if for a one bedroom apartment, is like $700. Granted, I am sharing a different kitchen, or I am sharing a kitchen, so that is probably why some of the cost was dropped down. But it's an amazing apartment complex. It's an amazing city. If you're looking at studying abroad, I highly do recommend studying abroad in Sweden. People are friendly. It's not the American hospitality that I'm used to, but people are more than willing to help when you ask, or most people. I have had some people kind of just look at me weird, but that's okay. So pretty much that's how my stay in Gothenburg has been. If you have any video requests, feel free to ask in the comments. I'm planning on like making a clothing list on what to bring to Sweden, because when I was looking for like clothes to pack for Sweden, there weren't really that many videos. So I will show you guys what I brought, what you probably can leave behind, and just how to prepare for studying abroad. So thanks for watching. I'll talk to you later. Bye.